So for this example, we will consider the data on life expectancy in the US by gender and decade since 1950, where we want to estimate the increase in life expectancy for women rounded to the nearest hundredth of a year for each subsequent birth year. So what bar graphs are best for is situations where we are comparing various amounts of objects or attributes in terms of things like values over time or just values in some context. Here we're just looking at this one has this many things, that one has that many things. We're trying to sort of get that nice vertical magnitude, or horizontal if you draw a horizontal bar graph, of maybe a change or a pattern, where here we're talking about life expectancies. So for this, what we need to do here is get some sense of how the change is going. So we need to see about how much the birth years have changed, as well as how much the life expectancy has changed. And here we do have those nice rounded numbers that we can begin with. So we can start by noting that we're going from 1950 to 2020. So 70 years. And then in terms of the change in life expectancy, we have women going from 71.1 to 81.9. So 71.1 to 81.9 is a change of 10.8 years, as it were. And then we're going to get this weird value in the middle of it, which is to say that over each year, over those 70 years, this is the total change. So our change per year, in this case, is going to end up being 10.8 over 70, or about, rounding to the nearest hundredth, as it asks for 0.15 years per year. That tells us what we are expecting the change to be. So if we want to use our model then here, which is the thing we're going to talk about a little bit later, to make a prediction, because we now have an estimate on the rate of change, what we could do is take the value that we had at one point. In this case, for no good reason, I take the 71.1 at 1950 and project out from there to a new place. Let's say we want to talk about what happens in the year 2030. So I would take the expected change of 0.15 per year and multiply it by the number of years, which in this case would be 80, for a total of 83.1 years. That is to say, we would expect that in the year 2030, the life expectancy for women should be 83.1 years old. And this line of thinking, like I said, is a bit of mathematical modeling, which is what we're going to close off the section with, close off the week with. But before we get to that, we have one more type of graph, one more type of representation to talk about, which is the line graph.